Matthew DeClercq in the Hippo studios. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I've got a couple of chaperones with me, so I feel nice and safe as you talk to me. Because otherwise, alone, it'd be a little
You're a dangerous animal. Listen, so we are doing another EP Monthly review article here, and this one is by Stephanie Deboulis. It's titled something. It's inflammatory in a sense, for depending on how you feel. And we may have a disagreement here, but we'll see. Who needs a chaperone, the patient or you? Bum, bum, bum. But bottom line is, the thing I took away from this thing, and it's basically all about chaperones, and it's got a very interesting, excellent sort of poll that they did that describes male and female doctors and how they feel about different situations where you might or might not need a chaperone. You chaperone a male rectal exam.
I like the poll.
Poll's super awesome. So you could stare at that for a long time. And then you make a case that Larry Nassar and these other criminal doctors have made life a little bit more hard for us. I think it's good that we're finally having all of these conversations. To assume that everybody is a Matthew DeClercq or an Aaron Bright and doesn't need a chaperone is probably short-sighted. Yeah, you don't need one. It's too bad you live in the world and you're going to have one for every darn thing you do for a while we as a specialty catch up to ourselves and gain a little respect. What's your take?
I have a bone to pick with this one.
Okay.
Because I think it is obvious. I don't know when you went to medical school, but when I went to medical school, you were taught that like day one, should have a chaperone when you're doing pelvic exams or genital exams or breast exams.
Right.
Duh, we're professionals.
Right.
The one that part that I'm like, they're like, well, maybe we should have a chaperone for all physical exams in the interview. And I'm like, okay, now just because there's one bad apple or 5 bad apples or 500, we're still professionals. It's not like I'm going to be like, well, every time I get a massage, I want a chaperone. Every time I see my physical therapist, I need a chaperone. It's like, at some point, I think we need to educate patients like, hey, this is how you do a physical exam, and this is what it's like. And, yes, we will have chaperones in the appropriate moments, which is totally obvious, but not for everything. Like, come on. We do not need a babysitter for our entire interaction.
So you
with
took
our
it
patients.
to an extreme. I think that's really interesting, and I like what you're saying. But what I thought,
because they said that they're like, if you have the funds,
right,
consider doing. I'm like, no. If you have the
you
funds,
don't like the,
go get more nurses.
I like
that
what you're saying too. But I think what did come up that I thought was good is that I found myself with stuff. It said, would you have a chaperone for a male rectal exam? And I'm like, no. And then I thought, oh, that's a problem. That's like I don't know exactly if that's supposed to be okay with that male. And I don't know what I'm getting myself into from a liability perspective. And so those are the things you have to think about at least. Having a chaperone in there from when I walk in to make sure that I don't start, cussing it and
to make sure you actually do a physical exam.
Yeah. That might be one to have it. But this is a very thought-provoking article. And it does push some buttons, so it's a fun read.
I think with the sensitive stuff for males and females, absolutely get a chaperone. There are going to be some guys going to be, you just do it, but not for everything. We have to at some point stand for professionalism.
I'm going to give this one to you. I'm going to give you as the winner of this argument, and I am going to float this way like this, and I'm going to do like one of these.
I'm going to do my victory dance right
down.
Ballet
move here.